What's going on, everybody? Xerafelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video is going to be done in the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup, my favorite meta. But before we get into these battles, guys, we hit 500 subscribers on this channel this past week. And I just want to say that's awesome, and thank you so much for your interest in my budding channel. Thank you for being part of the experience. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. If you'd like to see more of this content, like the video if you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment below and let me know how your Ultra League battles are going. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best, and I could not be doing this without you guys. Can't speak today. Team over here, we've got Lycanroc on the lead, Midnight form, with Trevenant and Crobat in the back as hard answers to fighting and grass types, which are Lycanroc's main weaknesses in the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup. Without further ado, let's get into these battles. We'll see just how effective Lycanroc is going to be as a counter user that is so weak to counter. But that's okay, because it has Psychic Fangs, and that's actually pretty awesome. So Lycanroc on the lead versus Magnezone. This is a really good lead. And we're going to see the opponent is going to swap out straight into their Gallade, and I'm going to throw Poison, or Psychic, CMCs to Poison Fang and Nidoqueen. I'm going to throw the Psychic Fang on my Lycanroc here to go ahead and get some chip damage and lower the defenses so that I can just farm it down with Trevenant. And they just get to the Leaf Blade, dude. You see how much damage those Shadow Claws are just ripping that thing apart. I didn't need to do this because of Trevenant, and it could have farmed it down, but I would rather not take more damage than I have to here. And this also forces them to either bring in what's not the Magnezone or their Magnezone, because Magnezone is walled as an electric type by Trevenant. So my opponent's going to go for Mirror Shot. I'm calling their bait, because if they go for Wild Charge, whoopee. Then they just used up all their energy. They have to swap out and their defenses are down. So I'm going to go for the Seed Bomb bait, because I'm going to try to get to another couple of moves here before I go down. Now I have two shields here, and I'm going to use one because I have so much energy. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to look to get to a couple of Shadow Balls. I've gotten so much energy at this point, and they haven't used up their energy. Or they've used up their energy, I should say, and I'm going to be able to get to two Shadow Balls here before I go out. So, I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball at the Venusaur, and then I'm going to swap straight to Crobat, and my opponent basically is in the top left at that point. There's nothing they can do. So, very good game to my opponent. Unfortunately, they were kind of team comp, triple hard countered. There wasn't really much that they could do here, but good game to them anyway. Alright, next game we've got up here, Lycanroc against Obstagoon. So this is not a horrible lead, but I kind of have to keep the Obstagoon away from my Trevenant. So I do actually stay in this matchup at least for a little bit. I expect my opponent to swap out, because Lycanroc will win this matchup. I can shield, and the opponent will basically have to be either they shield or lose their Obstagoon at some point. So they're going to Night Slash. I'm actually going to let it go because I basically CMP'd my opponent. I'm not going to mess around. They come in with Charizard as their safe switch. I come in with my Crobat. We both look like we were trying to swap at the same time. This Crobat's my safe switch in this team, which makes sense. You could go either way with the safe swap for this team. Anyway, so I'm going to go straight Poison Fang. When I'm building up to that Shadow Ball, I want shields. And I have so much extra energy here that I feel like I could probably win this matchup if I go straight Poison Fangs. So I'm going to do that. Opponent's going to throw a move. I have to call this, or I have to shield it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and shield it, even though it's another Dragon Claw. Unfortunate, but I should be able to get to my next Poison Fang before they get to a Blast Burn. So I'm going to go ahead, and they're going to let it go. So at this point, I get to farm them down, which is excellent, because now that leaves me with a bunch of energy, and they're going to come in with Obstagoon. So whatever they've got in the back does not want to see my Crobat, and I have a feeling that it's probably Venusaur, because that's a very common, like, Dark Poison or Dark, you know, it's English is hard today, guys. Obstagoon and Venusaur are a pretty common core in the Ultra League Premier Classic here. So hoping my Trevenant's going to have a bunch of play in the back here. Now, my opponent, like I said, we're going to come in with the Venusaur, and I'm actually going to be able to get to this Poison Fang here, but I'm going to bank the move just in case, and I'm going to threaten that last shield with the Psychic Fang. Now, my opponent is farming up as much energy as they can. They have no reason to throw here, and they're smartly holding their energy. Now, the thing is that we CMP type, which is awesome for me, because not only is their energy gone, but I mean, I've got Trevenant and I've got Crobat in the back. So I'm going to come in with Crobat for the Poison Fang. I want that shield gone so that I can just throw a move with Trevenant and be done with it. So I'm going to throw this Poison Fang here. Not going to be... I am able to get one more night or air slash through, which is good. And then we just farm down with Venusaur. They're going to get one move off, but at this point, there's nothing that they have that can KO me, so I'm going to be able to take this game. Good game to my opponent. And typically you want to throw the Sludge Bomb, but I think that was probably all they had the energy for there, so... Well played to my opponent, though. Lycanroc on the lead versus Machamp. Got off the lead, got a bail out, and I go straight to Crobat. The reason why I go straight to Crobat is because the Poison Fang helps it flip matchups, but there's definitely a case to be made for going straight to Trevenant because almost every time I save swap my Crobat, a freaking Walrein comes out, and the only way that I can flip switch on this thing is if I get lucky and they don't shield at all. So Trevenant has a much better odds to get shields and or flip switch from a Walrein, but either way, both will lose to Walrein regardless. So my only way that I win switch here is if I'm able to get to the Shadow Ball. My opponent CMP ties her. It looks like they should have. They shouldn't have gotten a CMP tie on me. I'm pretty sure Crobat has a higher attack step, but since we CMP tied, I do shield. I'd prefer to bring this down to the one shield scenario, especially because they just shielded. They might, they just threw energy, so they might not be willing to commit the shield. So Machamp comes in, and they hard swap into Machamp, so I'm going to come in with my Trevenant, look to hard counter their Machamp, and basically eat this Rock Slide here. I know it's a Rock Slide, but I know I don't have to worry about it. And because they've got to have something in the back, they're trying to bait out whatever I have in the back. So I'm looking to see what they've got here. Gonna throw the Seed Bomb, trying to bait shields. Opponent just lets it go. Fine with me, gets me an extra bit of farm here. And they're gonna come back in with probably the Walrein. Yeah, here comes the Walrein. I know that they probably have some residual energy, but they might not like whatever I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield, I think. No, do I let this go? Played these games a couple days ago. I let this go. I'm going to come in and trust in Lycanroc to farm down. But I'm going to have to eat an Icicle Spear and hope that whatever's in the back can be taken care of with that. It's a Venusaur. So I have a shield, and I'm getting a little bit too low for my own liking. I have to shield this. And I make a mistake here. I should have gone either straight for Stone Edge or go Psychic Fang and then Stone Edge. But here's the thing. I don't know if you're able to tell, but my opponent is sneaking in a bunch of fast moves during my charge move. They've got like 2 or 3, and I have been hitting the button for my charge move, so I'm not able to get any of my moves off. So I am actually going to lose this game simply because I was not able to get to my charge moves in time. But good game to my opponent. That was a very close game, regardless. Got Lycanroc versus Venusaur on the lead. Again, got off the lead. This is what we want to see, though, is we want to see the Venusaur so that we can hopefully win swap. There's no chance for win a swap. Walrein is going to be coming in against... This is hard counters, dude. This is hard counter city. It doesn't really matter what you do at this point. Venusaur is on the lead, and they've got a Walrein in the back, and they've probably got something like a Snorlax or something. I don't know. But anyway, so my opponent's going to throw the energy here. And when you're the Walrein player, definitely probably better to just go straight for it and not wait for them to get to the Shadow Ball, because if you get to the Shadow Ball, you get the chance to possibly win switch. Now, I did have one game that's probably coming up here. I'm pretty sure it's in one of these sets or one of these battles. My opponent didn't shield and I was able to flip switch and win the game because of it. So, Lycanroc's going to be able to come in, get a hefty farm, and here's the thing, is that if you give Lycanroc enough farm against a Venusaur, it can actually threaten it by a mile. Because Psychic Fangs gives it a huge advantage to be able to hit for super effective damage and whittle away at those defenses. So I'm going to throw the Psychic Fang here. I need to wait up my switch clock, and this is a perfect opportunity to do some chip damage. So I'm going to do so. Trevenant's going to come in. My opponent is not swapping out. So I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb here. My mistake. I thought that because they were staying in, they were actually weak to Trevenant in the back. So my opponent is, they are weak to Trevenant in the back. But for some reason I don't shield this. And they've got a shield. So I'm able to almost farm down here. Now I'm out of the shield. But I've got some energy. So here's what's going to happen. My opponent's going to throw the Frenzy Plant. They're going to dip. And in comes a freaking Swampert. Now Swampert is almost going to be able to beat me to a move. Thankfully, Trevenant wins CMP tie, and I think we might have been one move ahead of them. But they're going to throw up a shield. I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb. My opponent gets to the move anyway. And I'm pretty sure we were supposed to CMP tie there, and I'm pretty sure Trevenant wins CMP tie. Oh, it survived with just a sliver of health. Gonna be able to get this Seed Bomb off to do super effective damage to the Swampert. My switch timer's back up. I'm gonna come in and counter down, and then I'm gonna throw the Psychic Fang at the Venusaur and win this game. That is gonna be a good game. I didn't have to throw it, but I'd rather secure the victory rather than rely on the fast move damage, just because. So, good game to my opponent there. Very well played. Now, overall, we went on an 8-2 run with this team right when the league came up. So here's another example of a point where I'm going to bring in the Trevenant, because Crobat is my hard counter, but they come in with Mud. So either way, I wasn't going to have a great time. So I'm going to go straight Shadow Ball in this matchup, and I'm probably just going to let them throw a move whenever they get to it. If they want to over farm, that's fine. If not, whatever. My Lycanroc resists their poison jab damage, so they are actually going to get there right before I get to my next Shadow Ball. They're going to throw the Dark Pulse. I'm going to let it go. I'm not worried about it. And in comes Lycanroc, looking to get a hefty farm here. But because of Dark Pulse, I kind of have to be careful. Now, I make a mistake and I shield the Acid Spray. I also didn't really know how much damage that a Dark Pulse was going to do. So I'm looking to farm this all the way down. But now I have to shield either way. And I think that I completely screwed up because I should have shielded, but I didn't. And that's because I figured they've got a Sylveon on the lead, and they come back in with the Sylveon. So whatever they've got in the back does not want to see Crobat. However, that was a mistake on my part. I just didn't want to commit both my shields, knowing that there was a Sylveon that could just Psyshock my Crobat and then be done with it, and I would have lost that anyway. But Lycanroc, it can eat a Dark Pulse, but it can't eat a double debuff Dark Pulse. So, taking out the Sylveon, Melodic comes in, and at this point, they have two shields to my one shield. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to win this game. They have Dragon Tail and Surf, which is even spammier than any move that I could hit them with. They don't shield my Poison Fangs because they're intelligent, and they're not air counting my moves probably, so they know I'm not in a Shadow Ball, and even then, they could take a whole Shadow Ball and still beat me. So, this is going to be a good game. I'm going to lose this one. Good, well played to my opponent there. Melodic was just kind of that thing that, like, once the Trevenant was out of the way, I really had no real way to deal with it. So I shield this just to see, but they have back-to-back Surfs, and that's it. So, all right, no problem, man. You can't win them all, right? Lycanroc is still pretty good. I think this was the 3-2 set that I started off with. Here we go. This is going to be the 5-0 run, I believe, right here. So we got a Lapras. Lapras. So, the fact that they stay in this matchup kind of boggles my mind, because you would like to think that they would swap out unless they don't know the moveset on Lycanroc. But I'm going to go straight for Stone Edge. Most of the time when the opponent stays in a bad matchup and lead like this, they're looking to just sack the lead so that they can realign with something else. But they shield the Stone Edge smartly. So at this point, I was looking to catch the Surf on my Trevenant. Unfortunately, I have to use my second shield just because I wasn't able to get there in time. So now I'm being very careful about my move timing, and I actually want to be able to catch a Surf on my Trevenant. So I'm going to go for the Psychic thing, once again baiting the Stone Edge here, and my opponent is going to shield it. So they really don't want to see my Lycanroc. So I'm able to catch this on my Trevenant. And I know it's a Surf because they're not running Ice Beam and it's only 4 Ice Shards. So Surf is eaten by Trevenant. They're going to come in with Charizard. Now they have no shields, and I outpace them to the Shadow Ball. Except I don't. They got four Fire Spins in to get to that Dragon Claw. Let's see. Does we survive? We survive with just a little HP. Does we survive? I can't English today, guys. All right, so we're going for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is going to do Kaboom-worthy damage, almost takes out the Charizard, and they go down. Now all they've got left is a very low Lapras and whatever else is in the back. So, they come in with a Venusaur. I can safely come in with my Lycanroc, and I can go for the Psychic Fang. Now, the reason why I come in with Lycanroc regardless is because I know that my Crobat is in a position where it could actually take out the Lapras, and it does. It's one ahead because of the swap. It's going to get for the Poison Fang, and then the Venusaur in the back does not have anything it can use to tangle with with a Crobat, and they know that, so they give up there. Good game to my opponent, though. The Lycanroc was a bit of a core breaker to him because they didn't want to swap in the Charizard on the fire type. So Obstagoon again. So this time I'm looking to catch the Night Slash on my Crobat, and I don't. So unfortunate, but they still throw it anyway, which actually works out in my favor. So they throw the Night Slash and they stay in because they get the boost. So my opponent is going to stay in and try and get rid of my Crobat. So there's a solid chance that whatever they have in the back doesn't want to see Crobat. So they're going to continue playing this out. I do shield this next Night Slash because it is boosted, and I don't want to eat a double boosted Night Slash. So they're going to stay in and continue to play this out. They're suffering from the Boostagoon syndrome, where they commit to the boosted goon instead of saving it for something else later. So I'm able to take out their Obstagoon, leaving my Trevenant wide open for some fun. And they come in with a Crobat. So I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. It's a Shadow Crobat. I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. They shield it up, so I got... That sucks, dude. So I got to come in with my Lycanroc, and I'm going to start using its moveset, which, aside from counter, does super effective damage to a Crobat regardless. They're going to shield up the Psychic Fangs, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to attempt to figure out a way to Stone Edge this Crobat. There's no reason not to. And if they're actually staying in to play this out, then there it is. All right, so Sylveon comes in. So now I have to be extremely careful because nobody has any shields left. And if that Crobat has a chance to farm down my Trevenant, if it has that much HP, then it's going to be a bad time for Lycanroc because it doesn't want to eat that Shadow Ball. So I'm trying to get to the Seed Bomb. My opponent throws Energy, which is huge. Throw a Psyshock, doesn't quite KO me, but I'm able to get another Shadow Claw before they take me out. Now what I have to do is I have to come into the Crobat matchup, take a bunch of charms, but I have to have enough energy to be able to throw that Stone Edge before the Crobat can get to any move now. So I'm going to build up a bunch of energy before I go out, and then get to the Stone Edge. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever seen a Stone Edge hit a Crobat, but it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. Takes it out. Ah! Refreshing. I love when I one-shot things. A little bit late. I got too attached to the Kaboom. So Escavalier is another one of those things that I just don't want to see on the lead. So gonna swap straight to Crobat. Opponent's a little bit slow to swap, but of course in comes Walrein. Of course. I don't know what they'd do against the Toxicroak if they saw one, but apparently they would just lose to it. So yeah, so I'm gonna do the usual thing. I'm gonna go straight for the Poison Fang. And then I'm just going to continue building up until I can get to the Shadow Ball. Now, my opponent's going to throw the Icicle Spear. I don't shield this. I don't commit any shields unless we get to a CMP tie at the end. Or I can actually land a Shadow Ball and then get this down to the one shields. So, here comes the Shadow Ball. A debuffed Walrein doesn't like Shadow Ball. Doesn't do enough Kaboom damage, but it's because I'm going to win switch. I'm going to commit the shield here, and I'm going to take them out. And now, all that their Escav can do is get maxed up against Trevenant, which is not an ideal situation for it. So, my opponent now has to figure out what they're going to come in with, and that is going to be the Escavalier. So, going to be able to get a little bit of damage off with the Crobat before we go down, and then Trevenant's going to come in, and I have to eat this move no matter what it is, and I have a feeling that's a Mega Horn. And you know what Mega Horn does? Mega Horn hurts! I'm going to Kaboom myself because that hurt, dude. Alright. Gonna go for Seed Bomb baits. At this point, my opponent swaps a Snorlax, and I swap in. Damn, I used the Seed Bomb anyway. I panicked and used the Seed Bomb. So, now, I come in with Lycanroc, and I know that they're probably gonna get to a superpower here. I obviously have to shield this. I can't not have my Lycanroc at this point. So, I'm gonna shield that because now I'm counting, and I know that they're not even gonna be able to get to the Body Slam before I take them out. So that's 6 counters right now. Take them out. I've got a ton of energy loaded, and they either have to shield these or they're going to lose the game. So Psychic Fang's going to come through, baiting off that Stone Edge. I'm still going to be able to get to it. Still going to be able to work off of the energy that I gained off. And I'm going to be able to get to 3 Psychic Fangs here. My opponent's just going to start letting them go. And they realize at this point, they either have to throw the energy now and lose to my Trevenant, or they have to lose. And they just lose because they know that one more counter would have taken them out. Good game, though. Well played. I would have actually lost that one if my opponent had, or if I had played, I don't know. I don't know if I would have lost that one or not, but it was well played regardless. I almost lost it. I thought I was going to lose it when I saw the Escavalier. So, Ampharos lead is kind of crappy because you can't play, you can't swap into Crobat, and it's a neutral lead, and it actually will end up beating out Lycanroc at some point. So I'm going to go straight for Stone Edge, hoping maybe they call a bait and they don't shield, which doesn't happen. My opponent's intelligent. They shield up. So I'm going to go straight into Trevenant. I was trying to catch a Thunder Punch there, and they end up throwing energy anyway. So I'm going to consider Focus Blast, or it's going to be a Thunder Punch. And I catch the Thunder Punch anyway, so it works out for me. Now they've got Dragonite, and I've got 2 shields. So what I'm looking to do here is I am looking to throw 2 Shadow Balls, because I know that they're going to shield the first one. I could have baited, but I don't want to bait if I don't have to. But they're going to be able to get to this Dragon Claw. I'm thinking Dragon Tail, Dragon Fang, Dragon Claw. It's all these dragon moves in my head now. Alright, so Dragon Claw is going to come through and shield it. I'm going to get to the Shadow Ball and be able to flip the matchup in my favor with only 1 shield used. And boom! Opponent's going to go down. Kaboom indeed! They take the Dragonite out. They have no shields left. I've got a Crobat and a Lycanroc with some energy. Ampharos is going to come in. I can't even get to a Seed Bomb, and I'm not going to try. I'm actually just going to let it go, and I'm going to try and save the shield, hoping that my opponent is weak to Crobat in the back. And they're not really weak to Crobat in the back. They've got a Swampert. So now I throw the Psychic Fang in an attempt to give myself just a chance to think, and I'm going to come in with Crobat because they have locked themselves in here, and I'm just going to look to try and get to the Shadow Ball, and all I can do is hope that once I get that Shadow Ball, I'm going to have enough HP left to be able to hit that Ampharos with a Poison Fang or something. So they have back-to-back Hydro Cannon, which is unfortunate. I should have been able to get a fast move in there, but it's okay. I'm going to shield up the Hydro Cannon because I have to, and then I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. I don't want to risk CMP because the game has been messing with me ever since, so I'm not messing with it. So my opponent's going to be able to get in time to the Thunder Punch, take out my Crobat. They have a low amount of HP. Let's see if Lycanroc can pull through here. With just a sliver of HP, it would have made it. Good game to my opponent. That was very well played. I was so scared I was going to lose that one, dude. All right. Next game, we've got a Trevenant lead. This is another horrible lead, and I've got to bail out. I think in this one, I'm going to go straight to my Trevenant. You can go either way, honestly. They come in with the Walrein, which is ideal. At least in this case, I feel like I can threaten the Walrein a little bit better. And this is why I started maybe save switching into Trevenant if I expect there to be a Walrein in the back, like a Trevenant lead. Probably going to be a Walrein in the back. You want to bait that out. But opponent's going to go for Icicle Spear here. Now, I've played this matchup a few times to know that I can get to the second Seed Bomb before my opponent gets their Icicle Spear and farms me down. So, thankfully, I'm going to be able to do that. And I did get 1 shield off my opponent. They're low enough that I can now farm down, commit 1 shield because there's a likely chance they've got an Earthquake. If they bait me, so be it. Then I know at least I'm not tanking an Earthquake. So, opponent goes for an Icicle Spear. Now, I guess I know why you go for the double Icicle Spear to get the shield and then do some extra damage. But on the off chance that I call that bait, you should have gone for Earthquake, and then that's that. So, either way, it's fine. So they're going to come in with an Obstagoon. And at this point, I'm pretty solid in that I've got this game. My Crobat actually beats the rest of their whole team, so I'm going to swap it in here. Probably should have played that out with Lycanroc a little bit more. Looking back on this match, definitely would have been in my favor to use up Lycanroc on this matchup rather than have it matched up against the Trevenant. But I'm going to still play this out, and my goal here is to have a Shadow Ball ready to go or close to it when we finish off this Obstagoon so that I can fire that Shadow Ball right at the Trevenant's face. Now, my opponent is going to continue to play this out intelligently by throwing Night Slashes over and over and over again, hoping that they can take me out or get my shield, and then at that point, what all they have to do is use Trevenant to get my HP bar all the way to the empty. Obviously, that's what you're trying to do. So I have to shield this here, but I'm close enough to a Shadow Ball where I can make it before they can get to a move. And even then, I don't think a Seed Bomb is enough to take me out. So here comes Trevenant, and now you're all going to see at the very end, I left it as a finale. We're going to Shadow Ball a full HP Trevenant, guys. Take some out. That's going to be the video. thank you so much for sticking around and watching. That was a 8-2 run up to rank 19, and I was going to include my rank 20 set, but the game was super screwed up today, or the day that I recorded these sets, so that last set wasn't even worth keeping. So this is all I got. So I just want to say again, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that you watch this content. I hope that you'll continue to come back and watch some more. I noticed that about 50% of my viewers are unsubscribed, so if you like this content, please subscribe today. And I appreciate all of the support that all of you have given me, whether you're on my Patreon, which is linked in the description if you want to get involved in that, or just for hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate it regardless. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.